label. It's got a few of the Wrangler accessories. I say a few because the Wrangler is one of the most customizable vehicles on the market. It's not just Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, it's on the market. So there's a few things in there with some prices next to them. Obviously, we have a wonderful parts department here that will be more than happy to hook you up with anything that you're looking for. You know, even if you're not sure if Mopar makes it, just ask. They'll be more than happy to, you know, find out what type of accessories there are for you. Does anybody have any questions right off the bat as far as, you know, before we go into anything?
How similar the process of this is in the four-door?
Well, that's why I got this lovely red four-door right behind you.
Okay, cool. Could you do them both?
Yep, we're going to do the four-door soft top, the two-door soft top, and then we have a couple of hard tops. We can just go through the stops. The hard tops are obviously the easiest to remove. A lot of times you just need a couple guys. If it's a four-door, you'll need a couple guys to remove that back half of that hard top. It's not so much heavy as it is cumbersome. If you know, try to manhandle it yourself, you might drop it, you might break a window, so on and so forth. So just as a caution, always grab a neighbor or your kids or anything, and that will help you out. This right here is my Jeep Wrangler, which I absolutely love. Obviously, as you can tell, Wrangler has come out with some new colors this year. This color was my absolute favorite. It's called Gecko Green. It's kind of a, I mean, you can't sneak around in this thing. I mean, it glows in the dark. So, but we have a wonderful array of Jeeps for you guys to look at. This is one that has been sold, but it has a lift kit in it. We outsourced it to Autogenesis right up the street. Can't miss them. They have a big, huge, bright orange lifted Wrangler with mud tires on it right out front. So we outsourced the lift kit to them. These are the tires that are on it. You can keep those, or you can go with a bigger tire with the lift kit underneath it. This Jeep's actually for a waste disposal company, so they're running something a little higher to get through their backfields and stuff.
How much higher is that?
That's a 4-inch lift kit. So obviously, this is stock height for the Sport. You can see it sits a little firmer, a little meatier. That's a Sahara. It does sit higher than the Rubicons would also. The Rubicons do come a little taller from the factory, but with a 4-inch lift kit, it's right around. If you go any higher than 4 inches, you got to start changing suspension components besides just coil pumps and your shocks. You're going to have to start changing lower control arms, upper control arms, and then depending on how high you go, you might actually have to drop your drive line, just so you're not putting too much wear and tear on those U-joints in there. So I guess first things first, we'll talk about, I pulled the doors off my Wrangler. I do not have the kit yet, but there is a kit that you have to have in order to drive down the road without your doors, and that's to put mirrors on it. And those mirrors bolt right into these bolts. You get a longer set of what they call a Torx nut, and you get a longer set of those, and it mounts right on your A-pillar here, and then you'll have your mirrors, driver and passenger, and then that way, going down the road, they can't pull you over and give you a ticket. Because unfortunately, the mirrors are located on the doors. Two-door and four-door differences. There's a few, but it's nothing drastic. The two doors, to me, for the soft tops are a piece of cake doing it yourself. The four doors, it's always good to have a friend helping you. They are a little bigger, they are a little more cumbersome. But all in all, they fold right up, disappear, get out of the way, which is one of the features that a lot of small SUVs don't have these days. As you can see, I obviously already took the doors off. You don't have to take the doors off to remove your top, so don't think you have to. It's just easier to see what's going on without the doors on it. First step to removing your top, easiest way I find is to remove any of the side windows and the back windows first. On this one right now, I have the back window rolled up, which I'll go over with you guys. It's a nice thing to do just to have airflow coming through the vehicle. you have your front windows down, or even take these off and you have that air just going right through the vehicle. There's no obstruction, no turbulence inside. So first step to removing your windows, they're all held on, 4-door or 2-door, held on by 2 strips of Velcro. There's a top strip and a bottom on the back strip. That's just for cosmetic appearance. It holds the flaps to the vehicle. It also creates a water seal between the top of the window. Then you got your Wrangler zippers. All the zippers on the Wranglers are very heavy duty. Unfortunately, no zipper cannot corrode. So you can get them, either from the parts department or even just go to a hardware store. You can either get some silicone spray or what they call an actual Jeep zipper lubricant. It just comes in a little squirt bottle. It's got a little brush on it. Just go over your zippers. I'd say every other oil change, depending on how often you use them. If your vehicle sits, the less the zippers move, the easier it is for corrosion to build up on it. So, it's really whatever makes you feel comfortable to keep your zippers lubricated. But if you don't, you will have a nightmare trying to remove any component with a zipper on it if those ends corrode on there. At that point, if you can't get the zipper off, and we can't get it off, if you bring it here and we're working on it, at that point we're going to start looking into options as far as new pieces. And that's not the best way to go. Especially if you already paid for the wood. So then the bottom of your windows are held in kind of like a tonneau cover. It's just a plastic rib that fits under the channel of your Wrangler. That just pops right out, and then there's a channel on the front of the B-pillar, and that just slides right out as well. There you go. There's a window. Like I said, they're pretty much the same as far as the 2 doors and the 4 doors. When we go over the 4-door, you'll see that it has leather stripping, kind of like this, and it helps it seal it to the frame of the 4-door. Just because it's longer, it doesn't sit as long as the 2 doors. So Jeep corrected that and just threw a couple extra features in there. As far as storing them goes, it's pretty much keep them out of the elements, keep them dry. Don't stick them in your basement if it's moldy or damp, or it just creates mildew. I mean, just like if you store clothes, you kind of want it in a dry atmosphere. They are made out of fabric, so bugs and critters and everything else like to live in them. Best thing to do, if you can, hang them up. Pull them out, depending on how long you leave them off the vehicle, pull them out every couple of weeks, let them sit in the sun, make sure they're nice and dry. They do make a window cleaner through Mopar, but the best thing to do is, if you don't want to buy the cleaner for it, you can buy a plexiglass cleaner. It comes in a spray can. Castle makes it. You can get it aftermarket.
So what is it in the cleaner? Normal cleaner that you would not enjoy?
Ammonia, yeah. Any ammonia-based cleaner. You can clean it with it. It'll just cloud out your windows. So the best thing to do is avoid anything that has ammonia in it. That's, Windex, anything like that. So the best thing to do is get a plexiglass cleaner. You can ask our parts department for the Wrangler window cleaner. But the plexiglass cleaner through Castle or anybody else usually works the best. You want to rinse them down first and then clean them. You never want to attack it when it's dry. You'll scratch it and smear all the dirt and gravel, anything sitting on these windows. You'll rub it right into that plastic. And then, you might not be clouding it, but now when you go to look through it, it's just going to look like somebody just took a cheese grater to your window. So make sure you wet them down first. Those car loofahs work really well. Ones that slip over your hands or just something to wipe them down. You can use just car soap. You don't have to get a special soap to clean them. But a lot of guys, after they clean them, they like to dry them and then they like to use that plastic window cleaner. That way it kind of helps shield it a little better and help them from fading out. So we'll just pull this second window off here. And like with any of these tops, any accessory on these Wranglers, practice makes perfect. The more you play with your top, the better. We've had people come in with the top half assembled, and they just bring it in to us and say, hey, can you give me some pointers? You know, I got lost halfway through it. No problem. We are more than happy to stop whatever we're doing and show you guys how to use your tops. I know how frustrating it is when I got my first Wrangler for, you know, before I knew the ins and outs, how things work on them, you know. It's just, you get a top, you have a Wrangler, and it's like, well, now what? And your owner's manual does tell you stuff about how to operate your tops, but anybody can read a book. It's putting it hands-on is what really allows you to learn your tops. So feel free, you know, tear your tops down, put them back on. You know, if you're just kicking around the house, do it in your garage, do it out in the yard. If you get stuck on something, just fold it up enough so the top won't rip off like a parachute if you're coming down the road to see us. And then just swing in. We'll be more than happy to, you know, correct you in your error, or, you know, maybe you just missed a step. All of our tops, 2-door, 4-door soft top. In the front, I'm removing the sun visor. Right behind it, there's a latch. On the brand new Wranglers, these are very tight. The tops are very tight. It's just like, you know, getting a new boat cover or anything. It's gonna be, it hasn't been stretched yet. It hasn't been set in the sun long enough for the fabric to relax on the boats. But, you know, being that this is my Wrangler, used Wrangler, you know, the top will come right off. But a lot of people don't understand buying a brand new one. Let it sit out in the sun for a couple days, especially this time of year. If you're purchasing a Wrangler now, the best thing to do, with it sitting on the lot, if the soft top's already on it, you're pretty much good to go. But a lot of them, we order dual tops, which means the hard top will be on the vehicle, and the soft top is in a shipping boot inside the vehicle. If you ever have to transport it with the soft and hard top without that shipping boot, try not to do it for long periods of time. The hard top will rub through this. There's a reason why they put the shipping boots on it. So we've had them where customers will come in with this and they want the hard top installed. No problem, we just warn them. When you get home, remove one or the other. And you guys will see that these are extremely easy to remove off the vehicle once they're folded up. Same with the hard tops. There's about 8 screws holding the hard top on, and it pops off as far as the back half goes. So anyhow, you just pop these latches. You know, feel free when you guys are walking around too, to just look inside all of these Wranglers. See what you like, see what you don't like, and feel free to play with stuff. You know, I mean, if you grab a latch and unhook it and start playing around with the top after this, that's perfectly fine. We can put anything back together, so don't be afraid to play around with it. Alright, like I said, the 2 doors are fairly easy. You unhook them. I can actually show you. There's slides. There's slides on all the 2-door soft tops, and the 4 doors pivot a little different. And what that allows you to do is that. On the 2 doors, this is the slide mechanism right here. And when it's straight, you slide it and it locks the beams together. Same thing when it's flat, you slide it forward, it'll unlock them, allow it to pivot, and you can put your top just like that and drive around. Right, it'll stay right there. Obviously, it might flap a little because you got a little extra fabric sitting there, but it won't damage it. Yep, and this is actually pretty much your sunroof, your skylight, your moonroof, whatever you want to call it. This allows you to ride around and get some sunlight without removing the entire top. And you can get to this just by unhooking your two front latches, slide these locks, flip it over. That's it. You don't have to take the windows off. You don't have to take anything off. It allows you to get a little sunlight if you're going from point A to point B. I do it when I go on lunch. I flip my top, drive around, get a little sunlight. You know, throw the shades on, enjoy the Wrangler. You know, but and as far as folding it up, you do have to have those bars on. So, well, I guess I shouldn't say you have to, because you can fold your top up without it.
Well, I said, well, if you put your car down the tray,
Up it straight.
Yeah. Okay, these tabs hold your top on. And all they are is just a release lever. And you just pull it outwards and they release the side of the top. You can see that pivot. This is why it's a lot easier to do it when the beams are locked together. If this is flopping around on you and you're also trying to fold the top up, it just kind of gets in the way. At least, you know, that's from my personal experience. Some people, they could care less. They just fold the whole thing up, flop it in the back. Those latches are on both sides of the Wrangler. Oh yeah, those are always locked. When you install your top, you want to hear those locked. The reason being is your top will not sit solid on top of the vehicle. You might get a lot of big noise on the changer. Driving around with a soft top's a soft top. You know, I mean, they're not going to fit perfect as far as having wind noise, but if those latches are undone, you'll definitely notice it. So the inside of your top will kind of build air like a parachute, and it will be a lot noisier. What I've always done, and this is everybody's personal discretion. If you don't want to fold your rear arms this way, that's fine. I like to show people because I think it's a nice little trick and it keeps them somewhat organized. You just pop them out of the channel. Once again, these have the same shape that all the other pieces do that lock in. Just push on the top corner and fold them up. The reason why I do that is when you fold your top up, it makes it look a lot neater. It makes it fit a lot nicer in the back of your Jeep. A lot of people, they'll just leave them, and when you fold your top, you got these two kind of legs flapping around on the side of the Jeep. While we're here, I'll show you guys. This is my back window. These straps come with all of our Wranglers. They snap on. These are the straps that will come in your pit. On all 4-door or 2-door, there's snaps, 2 snaps, here and obviously where the other one's mounted. I've always done the straps where I put them on first, I will undo my rear window and then roll it up the inside of the window. That way you're not rolling all the dirt together. I mean, there is dirt when you roll it this way, but if you roll it the other way, there's usually more tendency to scratch, mark, stuff like that. Some people like to, like their window to sit a little tighter, so what they'll do is they'll just take it and kind of loop it, and then they'll try to put the loop around the end of the window. Me, I take the easy way, I guess, but all you gotta do is just snap it on, then you roll your window. And I still have my bar in here. There's a bar that goes across the back of this Jeep. It's still in here. Some people take it off. That's fine. I like to leave it. It gives it a little weight. That way when it's hanging, it's not as apt to just flop around. It's got a little meat to it. And then you just take that, stretch it right over the edge, and there you go. I mean, it's simple, easy. And a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people don't know what those straps are for when they got them in their kit. They're like, oh, I got 2 elastic straps with a snap on it. Do I put them on my socks or? So, like I said, you can fold your top up like this. Some people like to remove the window completely. It's really not hard at this point. All you got to do is put both zippers all the way down the left side of the back window, and the window comes right off. Easy thing to remember, your zippers are attached to the windows, not to the top. I've had people that come in, I can't get my back window off. Alright, well show me what you're doing. Let me see how you do it so I can, give you advice. You're trying to pull it so the zippers are on the top. You're trying to pull the window out of the zippers. It's never going to happen unless, you strap a truck to the back and rip the zipper off. So always remember, the zippers are on the window. Don't fight it. If you're fighting it too much, something's wrong. You're doing something wrong. So with the flaps up, window's still on, which is fine. It'll tuck right in here. And you can just drop it. Like I said, the 2 doors are a piece of cake. 4 doors, you're going to want a buddy to help you. They're a little more cumbersome. And you can tuck them down. There are Velcro straps. I think I got mine kicked around here. The Wrangler also comes with these nice little Velcro straps. What they're for is they go around the bows for your top. This helps keep the top in the vehicle instead of trying to lift up if you get any, turbulence underneath. And it's literally a piece of cake. You wrap the strap around the arm. I like to try to get as many arms as I can and as far back as I can. And you just set it there, Velcro it on, and that's it. And you just do it on both sides. That way it helps with any, turbulence, pushing, stuff like that. To remove the top completely, these are, I believe they're a 27, they're called a torque screw. They're the same style screws that are in the bottom of your door hinges, same style screw that are in your A-pillars when you do your mirror assemblies. The style is called torques. And it's just pretty much like a 6-ribbed hole. And the only thing that will fit in it to turn it is a Torx bit.
Is it the same size as the ones that hold the hardtop on, or a different size?
No.
It's a 40 or something?
They're all, yep, the ones that hold the hardtop on are 40 or 45. The ones that hold your door pins on are 50. And these ones, I think they're 25. But any hardware store will sell you a little rail or package of Torx bits. They can fit just about any quick shut drill. You pop them out. I like to use electric tools. Some people like to use hand tools. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable that you're not going to strip them. If you use the wrong size and you strip them, now you have a round hole. And unless you have an extractor to pull them out, we're probably going to see it. So you don't have to ream them in here when you put them in or take them out. You just have to snug them right up and they'll sit. There's always a little play in both these arms. That's because it's a soft top. It's on a Wrangler. It's got to have the ability to rebalance itself once you put it up and down. So that's why there's play. Don't feel if you put the top on and there's play in it, you're like, oh, I did something wrong. I'm missing something. There's got to be something wrong with it. The top has to have the ability to settle on top of the Wrangler. So now that you have your straps on, put them on both sides. You can drive around just like this. If you want to go all out crazy, these rails will remove. And the 4 doors have them too. They just have an extra piece. And all they're held in by is a big threaded screw. And what the screw does is there's a fork on the plastic, and then you have your Nerf beam that it straddles it. The screw goes all the way through, and then it threads on the bottom of it. And that's all they are. Same thing with these. You don't have to remount them when you put them back in. This is plastic. It's only molded to the top of this metal shaft. You know, put too much muscle behind it, you will have a stud inside this beam with no handle. Once again, we'll probably see. So, there's two in this, one in the front, one in the back of these arms. And then after that, piece of cake pops off. There's a little hole on the bottom of these that fit right here. There's a little hole right here, just an alignment dowel, that's all it is. And these fold in half. You fold them up, stick them in on a shelf in your garage, stick them in the back seat if you're nowhere near home and you just feel like having the old-fashioned Wrangler look. They just pop right off. Yeah.
If it's raining and you want to put the top up, do you need those to keep the rain out?
If it's raining and you want to put the top up, obviously the first thing you'd want to do is flip the top up as fast as you can. Don't worry about latching it in the front. It might leak a little, but it's a Wrangler. I hate to say it, but I would rather, if I wanted to clean the inside out, I'd leave the top off. Let it rain. You know, I mean, they're very, I guess, indestructible. But you would want to flip your top up. And the only thing that these have on them is that latch that holds the bows down. That latch that I had to pull on to release it. Which is fine. You can still drive with it. But it'll be a little noisier. Most likely though, last minute situation, if it's raining, I would just flip the top up and sit under it. You know, I mean, it's better than standing in the rain. I wouldn't worry about the windows. I wouldn't worry about the back window. If it's downpouring, flip the top up, lock it in the front, and just hang out underneath it. It's the best umbrella you're going to get.
But you'll be driving it like that.
Yes, yep, but like I said, it's just going to be very noisy, very aggressive. You don't want to do highway speeds with the top loose. You can do it when it's folded back, just the front, but I wouldn't do excessive speeds with the top loose on the sides. Obviously, fabric can only take so much. You can pull the stitching out of it if you decide to do Mario Andretti with your top loose. And that's it as far as the Wrangler look on the two-door. Like I said, there's kits for the mirrors for when you have the doors off. These grab handles are also a kit. You can buy them aftermarket, or you can buy them through Chrysler. I like the ones through Chrysler. They say Jeep on them. In case somebody didn't know what you were driving, at least that hard to tell. You can get a set for the four doors. The four doors have a longer beam in the back. Obviously, it's a longer vehicle. And you can give your passengers a grab handle. You can put a grab handle on the back of the two doors, but where your passengers sit, unless they're lounging back, it's not really a convenient place for them.
The roll bar snap for those already?
Oh yeah, yep.
No, for these two right here.
Yes,
So
yep.
they're already capped.
Yes, yep. And all you do, especially, you can unzip the two doors. On the four doors, this set of bows will mount on the back post. And the four doors have a flap. And it's just a Velcro flap. You open it, tuck it in, and then all you do is, in the kit that it comes with, you just screw the torque screws right into the, your D-cylinder back. Huh? It's the back roll bar. Yeah, on the four door. Yep. And I'll show you when we take that top off. A lot of times, these ones though, they all come the same from the factory. The factory cannot, it wouldn't make sense for the factory to build the frame differently for every Wrangler. So every Wrangler is ready to rock and roll, whether you want a soft top or a hard top. It just depends on what you order it with and what it comes with in the kits. But like I said, this is your, what they call a B pillar. And on the two doors, this is where the bows will mount. On the four doors, they will mount on your D pillar, which is farther in the back. It's your fourth pillar. And on those ones, there's a little flap. Two doors are a little more different, but a lot of people, when they order the two doors, usually I see them order soft tops. We do have hard tops that have been ordered, but like I said, there's nothing we can't put on it. You buy a hard top, summer comes around, man, I could really go for that luxury, flipping the top down, you know, putting it up when I want, getting some breeze through the vehicle, swinging, you know, we'll square you away. We'll order them up, pop it on, and we can get a rock and roll. There are prices too for hard and soft